Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A detailed plan or explanation to guide you in setting standards or determining a course of action. A rule or principle that provides guidance to appropriate behavior. A light line that is used in lettering to help align the letters. A detailed plan or explanation to guide you in setting standards or determining a course of action. The president said he had a roadmap for normalizing relations with Vietnam. A map showing roads for automobile travel. A rule or principle that provides guidance to appropriate behavior. A post bearing a sign that gives directions or shows the way. A rule or principle that provides guidance to appropriate behavior. An integrated course of academic studies. Arrange a program of or for. A system of projects or services intended to meet a public need. An announcement of the events that will occur as part of a theatrical or sporting event. Write a computer program. A radio or television show. Computer science, a sequence of instructions that a computer can interpret and execute. A series of steps to be carried out or goals to be accomplished. A performance, or series of performances, at a public presentation. Something that provides direction or advice as to a decision or course of action. Something that provides direction or advice as to a decision or course of action. The act of setting and holding a course. A new council was installed under the direction of the king. The concentration of attention or energy on something. He had no direction in his life. The act of managing something. Is the direction of the economy a function of government? A line leading to a place or point. He looked the other direction. A formal statement of a command or injunction to do something. Something that provides direction or advice as to a decision or course of action. A message describing how something is to be done. He gave directions faster than she could follow them. A general course along which something has a tendency to develop. I couldn't follow the direction of his thoughts. The spatial relation between something and the course along which it points or moves. He checked the direction and velocity of the wind. The act of setting and holding a course. The act of guiding or showing the way. Something that provides direction or advice as to a decision or course of action. A lawyer who pleads cases in court. Give advice to. The teacher counsels troubled students. Something that provides direction or advice as to a decision or course of action. An arrangement scheme. A plan for seating guests. Scale drawing of a structure. The plans for City Hall were on file. Make or work out a plan for, devise. Plan an attack. Make a design of. Plan out in systematic, often graphic form. Plan the new wing of the museum. A series of steps to be carried out or goals to be accomplished. They drew up a 6-step plan. Have the will and intention to carry out some action. He plans to be in graduate school next year. Make plans for something. He is planning a trip with his family. An integrated course of academic studies. He was admitted to a new program at the university. Arrange a program of or for. Program the 80th birthday party. A system of projects or services intended to meet a public need. He proposed an elaborate program of public works. An announcement of the events that will occur as part of a theatrical or sporting event. You can't tell the players without a program. Write a computer program. A document stating the aims and principles of a political party. They won the election even though they offered no positive program. A radio or television show. Did you see his program last night? Computer science. A sequence of instructions that a computer can interpret and execute. The program required several hundred lines of code. A series of steps to be carried out or goals to be accomplished. A performance, or series of performances, at a public presentation. The program lasted more than 2 hours. The act of controlling or directing according to rule. Fiscal regulations are in the hands of politicians. A principle or condition that customarily governs behavior. Short haircuts were the regulation. The act of bringing to uniformity, making regular. An authoritative rule. Embryology. The ability of an early embryo to continue normal development after its structure has been somehow damaged or altered. Prescribed by or according to regulation. Regulation Army equipment. The state of being controlled or governed. Linguistics. A rule describing, or prescribing, a linguistic practice. Measuring stick consisting of a strip of wood or metal or plastic with a straight edge that is used for drawing straight lines and measuring lengths. Prescribed guide for conduct or action. A principle or condition that customarily governs behavior. It was his rule to take a walk before breakfast. Exercise authority over, as of nations. Decide with authority. A rule or law concerning a natural phenomenon or the function of a complex system. The right-hand rule for inductive fields. Something regarded as a normative example. Violence is the rule, not the exception. Mathematics. A standard procedure for solving a class of mathematical problems. He determined the upper bound with Descartes' rule of signs. Be larger in number, quantity, power, status or importance. Dominance or power through legal authority. The rule of Caesar. Decide on and make a declaration about. A basic generalization that is accepted as true and that can be used as a basis for reasoning or conduct. Keep in check. Rule one's temper. Any one of a systematic body of regulations defining the way of life of members of a religious order. The rule of Saint Dominic. Directions that define the way a game or sport is to be conducted. He knew the rules of chess. Have an affinity with, of signs of the zodiac. Mark or draw with a ruler. Rule the margins. The duration of a monarch's or government's power. During the rule of Elizabeth. A course of reasoning aimed at demonstrating a truth or falsehood. The methodical process of logical reasoning. I can't follow your line of reasoning. A slight depression or fold in the smoothness of a surface. His face has many lines. Mechanical system in a factory whereby an article is conveyed through sites at which successive operations are performed on it. A connected series of events or actions or developments. Historians can only point out those lines for which evidence is available. The road consisting of railroad track and roadbed. A conceptual separation or distinction. There is a narrow line between sanity and insanity. A succession of notes forming a distinctive sequence. A conductor for transmitting electrical or optical signals or electric power. The principal activity in your life that you do to earn money. He's not in my line of business. Make a mark or lines on a surface. Draw a line. Often plural, a means of communication or access. Lines of communication were set up between the two firms. The descendants of one individual. His entire lineage has been warriors. Space for one line of print, 1 column wide and 1/14 inch deep, used to measure advertising. A short personal letter. Drop me a line when you get there. A telephone connection. Be in line with, form a line along. Trees line the riverbank. The maximum credit that a customer is allowed. A particular kind of product or merchandise. A nice line of shoes. A pipe used to transport liquids or gases. A pipeline runs from the wells to the seaport. A commercial organization serving as a common carrier. Acting in conformity. In line with. A formation of people or things one behind another. The line stretched clear around the corner. A formation of people or things one beside another. The line of soldiers advanced with their bayonets fixed. A fortified position, especially one marking the most forward position of troops. They attacked the enemy's line. A length, straight or curved, without breadth or thickness, the trace of a moving point. A mark that is long relative to its width. He drew a line on the chart. A single frequency, or very narrow band, of radiation in a spectrum. A spatial location defined by a real or imaginary unidimensional extent. Cover the interior of. Line the gloves. Fill plentifully. Line one's pockets. In games or sports, a mark indicating positions or bounds of the playing area. Mark with lines. Sorrow had lined his face. Persuasive but insincere talk that is usually intended to deceive or impress. Let me show you my etchings as a rather worn line. Reinforce with fabric. Lined books are more enduring. Something, as a cord or rope, that is long and thin and flexible. A washing line. Text consisting of a row of words written across a page or computer screen. The letter consisted of 3 short lines.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.